We're making crabs. I got blue crabs, I've got some Old Bay seasoning, I got a pot. And the only other thing I need is a tepid beer. This has to go back in the fridge. What is a Maryland crab boil or a Maryland crab feast? It is exactly what it sounds like. It's blue crabs with some kind of seasoning. Often it's Old Bay. There are other ones out there, but Old Bay is the most common one. And the crabs are steamed up. You put down newspaper, you dump it on the table, and you dig in. It's messy and dirty, and your fingers get all pruny, and they start to sting because there's this spicy stuff all over them, and you're getting little cuts on your fingers from the crabs, and it's wonderful. The beer is, for drinking, and the beer is also used for steaming the crabs, as is the vinegar. This is just a lager. You can use anything, any basic American lager. This happens to be a Japanese lager, but whatever, it doesn't matter. And this is distilled white vinegar, and whatever. Put some in, splish splash. You need some kind of a steamer insert or anything that you even rig up yourself, like twisted up tin foil. You need to keep the crabs out of the liquid, because if they are submerged in the liquid at all, those crabs on the bottom get kind of gross and soggy. Now your crabs have to be totally alive. The crabs should be vigorous. They're very much alive and kicking. If your crabs are dead, don't eat them. If your crabs are on the edge of death, buy some different crabs. And start putting them into the pot. I'm gonna tip these in. I have a lot more than this. Every layer or so, you add some of your seasoning. Sprinkle it on top of the crabs. Now how much you add is personal taste. The more you add, the spicier they're gonna be. Try not to let these crabs bite you, because unlike lobsters, their claws don't come rubber banded, and woo, it could hurt. If you ever wanna hold a crab in your bare hands, hold it from the back side. It's the one place they can't get you. All right, it's gotta come to a boil, and then they cook for, I don't know, 15, 20. It's a lot of hard work cooking crabs. Yeah, so telling how they're done, the main thing is like the color. The crab is bright red now, it's lost all its blue color. And then on the underside of the crab, there's this apron. And if you see them starting to lift off on some of the crabs, that's also a sign that the crab is well cooked. Cooked crabs, a la Maryland. Welcome everybody to the Serious Eats Crab Boil, not live, from Industry City in Brooklyn, New York. And we're about to tear into these suckers. And I guess I'm gonna give some lessons about how to do it to my colleagues here who aren't entirely sure. Some of them are more veteran than others. So let's get our hands dirty, right?
Let's get cracking.
Yeah, cheers everybody.
Cheers.
To a lovely day. Here's our crab. Pull off all appendages.
Woo.
And reserve them at the back. You have these back fins. And if you can remember where they're connected to the body inside, that's where the biggest lump of meat is. On the underside of the crab, you will see that there is this kind of form. That's the apron. If you have a very narrow apron, that is a male crab. And if you have a wide apron, that is a female crab. There you go, take your female crab. She may have some roe. We are going to get our finger under the apron and lift it up and snap it off. All right, where you broke the apron off, get your fingers in there and pull the crab apart. The top shell will come off. Oh, Paul's broke.
Oh.
Womp womp. The top shell is not just garbage. You need to check your top shell for delicious stuff, like squigglies in the corners where the shell tapers. Scoop your finger and see what you find. The bottom section has all the meat. So on the either side, we have the gills or the lungs, these frilly things. Rip them all off. They're garbage. We got our crab, bottom, and we fold it in towards itself, towards the cavity, and it will snap in half. And we pull it apart. Now we have two halves of the bottom. Take one half. You could suck on it. We are going to squeeze the top and bottom together till we hear the crack. And then you are going to open it up like a book. And then you are going to proceed to pick through every crevice and cavity to get the meat out. The claws I eat out of boredom when I'm done because they're not nearly as good as the bodies, but they're still good. And I bet some people would say, oh, you don't need a cracker for that. Just use your fingers or your teeth, but I don't want your dental bill.